Okay, so we're watching these storms. And then we've got, you know, some storms down here towards Clarksville, too, that we have to watch here. This one is starting to circulate on its own. It's right over downtown Clarksville. So we've got so much going on. This tornado warning up here for Christian and Trigg County. And then as we go forward, oh, we've got this one now. This is a brand new tornado warning. We've got a new tornado warning in Katie's area. And you can see this storm is starting to circulate as well. We've got this right here. Look at that. That's a little hook again. When we start to see these start to hook like that, that is not good news. Katie's, start taking those tornado precautions. Lower level center of a room with no windows. Trigg County, I need you to do that too. You're getting some spin now. That's going to be heading towards Interstate 24 up in Trigg County, Hopkinsville Road, 68, 24, kind of paralleling you as we speak. And I'm looking at the greens and reds. I'm just looking at debris real quick. Could be even doing some debris here with that one. So again, we have gotten several storms that we are watching in particular. So a lot of tornado warnings ongoing. We've got one for Trigg. We've got one for Christian and Trigg near the Oak Grove area and Fort Campbell base near Clarksville as well. You've got some. This one is a severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, so they took the tornado warning off this one. For the one over in Robertson County, they have the tornado possible tag now for Macon and Sumner. So it's no longer a tornado warning. It is a tornado possible tag with severe thunderstorm warning, large hail, heavy downpours, not to mention strong damaging winds plus flash flooding. Okay, so we've got that storm as well. Okay, let's go over to Shelby Mack. She's got a little bit more too.
And Danielle, now we have 4 tornado warnings happening, so I want to just go over a tour of all of them. One of them that we have is going to be for Trigg County. That's going to last until 4:45, and it looks like that hail is just smaller than a ping pong ball. Along with that, there's a flash flood warning. That's including Christian, Todd, and Trigg counties. Now, with that storm, it's likely to continue to make its way across southern Kentucky, so it's not going to be done with us once it makes its way out of Trigg. Along with that, we have another tornado warning. This one includes Christian County. That's going to last until 4:15. We've got some really strong winds associated with this one. And this is the one Danielle was talking about that has 3-inch sized hail. We also saw some really significant sized hail, about 3 inches, closer to Bumpus Mills earlier today. And so that is just larger than baseball sized hail. Going down a little farther south, Benton and Henry County. This is another storm that's going to continue to push eastward. As it does so, it's going to be affecting more counties in Middle Tennessee. These storms are really not losing their power as they push eastward. We just have all of the ingredients for these storms to keep their intensity continuing to make their way across Middle Tennessee. So along with this, it's going to last till 4:15. This has hail that's just about the same size as a golf ball. And then as we continue to move downward, we've got a tornado warning. This includes Hickman, Humphreys, and Perry counties. That is going to last until 4:30. Again, we've got that hail that's going to be closer to golf ball sized. And then as we continue to move down just a little bit farther, this is actually has an observed tornado possible. So these are all storms that we're going to have to continue to watch, along with that severe thunderstorm warning that's over in Robertson County that's starting to fall apart. But all of these storms have been coming in. But the thing is, they're in western counties. They're going to continue to hold their power as they hit all of these ingredients in the atmosphere to continue to keep their intensity moving eastward. So make sure that you are in eastern counties, east of I-65, that you're still weather alert, because these storms are holding themselves together, Danielle.
All right, and they just said this too, baseball-sized hail for that Clarksville storm, which is wild. We also are watching rotation back. You were talking about that one in Sumner County. They're watching that one again. I just want to go right to this. We have the tornado watch up. This is for most of our viewing area through at least 5 p.m. for eastern Kentucky or western Kentucky. For Middle Tennessee and East Kentucky, it's till 9 o'clock. So everybody needs to be on guard for the potential for tornadoes, large hail, heavy rain, leading to flooding, and not to mention, you know, strong damaging winds. This is what it looks like. We've got several storms lined up to the west, and in particular here, this cell I was just looking at right now, because that one looks like it's tightening up a little bit over in Benton and Henry County. Now that's in effect until 4:15. It only has a severe thunderstorm warning tag with it, but look at the greens and reds starting to link up on velocity. Green, wind going to the radar, red, wind going away from the radar. When you see them touching like that, the potential rotation could be there. And again, that's going to be pushing towards Tennessee Ridge, Carlisle, Trail area. So if you live in those areas, I need you to start taking those tornado precautions. Going down to the lowest level center of a room, it's going to be over you in Bass Bay, McKinnon at about 414, Magnolia 418, Stewart 420, Tennessee Ridge 427, Carlisle 431, Erin 434, and Cumberland City would see this at 441. And then we've got this other tornado warning down in Hickman, Humphreys, and Perry County. All these are Doppler radar indicated. There's large hail with all of them. But I do want to go back out live. I believe Davis Nolan, you can see on the other portion of your screen, that's the damage coming from the storm tracker. And Davis, what are you seeing out there? I know you're in Robertson County, correct?
Yes, Danielle, we're still in Robertson County. We went down Ridge Road and showed you a house with the roof damaged earlier. We sort of went around a circle, got to Maxey Road again to find the damage, and then we ended up coming right back down Ridge Road. It seems like some of the worst damage is right along here. And of course, we've got a lot of emergency vehicles that have now arrived here to start assessing the damage and help people out. And meanwhile, as we go back to that view that we had a moment ago, basically we're looking at this roof damage again to this house. This tree sort of fell on the side of this house, but it's all along Ridge Road here, and that runs right off of Maxey Road, which is Highway 256 that runs from I-24. So earlier they were reporting the touchdown just west of I-24. We were at I-24 when it went across, saw the wall cloud, didn't see a touchdown there, but obviously just west of town, coming down 256 and Maxey Road here, and then just off on Ridge Road, we've had plenty of damage going on here. But Danielle's got a lot more to tell us about with many ongoing storms right now and more storms that are coming crossing the Tennessee River. They're going to affect other parts of Middle Tennessee besides the northern parts north of I-40. Nashville and points southward, we've got storms headed towards you as well. Reporting live from the Storm Tracker, I'm News 2 meteorologist Davis Nolan.
And if Davis is showing you all that damage that happened in Robertson County, that's an indication of what is to come, because we have all these storms out to the west. Most of these are tornado warned at this point. So we have multiple tornado warnings, and I believe we just got a new one here. So I'll take you to that one as well. We've got a lot going on today, folks. If you have a tornado warning for your area, I need you to take it really seriously and go down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows. This is the one I think I was just showing you over in Houston and Stewart County. Well, it was over, should I say, in Benton and even Henry County. Look at that hail. Hail is up to 2 inches in diameter. That's hen egg size hail. Look at that hook on the radar there. That is very dangerous. Lots of lightning, heavy downpours. You are not going to see that tornado. And look at those hail cores. Huge hail there. Huge hail over towards Clarksville as well. That's Clarksville, right? Wow. And that's Clarksville getting dumped on right now. That's what it looks like when these storms go over your area. So you are not going to see a tornado in that. It's too dark to see. You are going to see lots of lightning. You're going to see heavy downpours. You're going to see lots of hail. The hail is huge as it comes on down. Not only in Clarksville, we were talking about baseball-sized hail, but also that as it moves into like the Erin and Cumberland City areas, you're up next for some of this hail. And then look at these greens and reds in here. This is starting to really tighten up. So we have to watch that as well. The green wind going to the radar, the red wind going away from the radar. And unfortunately, this is on the same track that this would go. You know, Clarksville's already getting impacted by a storm as we speak, a strong, severe storm. And this is going to go right on top of them again. So again, this storm moving to the north and east, that's heading towards McKinnon at 409, Stewart at 415, Tennessee Ridge, you would see this at 422, Erin about 431, and then Cumberland City, you would see this at about 440. So again, this is not a good time to be out on the roads. I know it's 407. Most folks are trying to leave from work, but we have several tornado warnings out there. So if you know anyone that's out and about, please let them know if the tornado warning is coming their way. You need to go down to a room with no windows, the lowest level of a room, center of a room, and protect your head and neck. I always say taking a helmet is a good thing to do. A baseball helmet is also good to do just that. And I know we have several severe thunderstorm warnings. I'll get to that in just a bit. But the radar tour is really important with this one because, as you notice, up in the north, we're getting all these tornado warnings. That's the one I was showing you in Benton and Henry County that I was scared that was starting to really link up. And that hook is really starting to form. It's right over Faxon as we speak. So heads up Faxon, lowest level center of a room with no windows. Tennessee Ridge, 427. Carlisle, 431. Cumberland City, 441. Also want to point out this one for Hickman, Humphreys, and Perry County. Again, large hail with this one, just centered south and west of Lobelville. Look at the greens and reds, north and west of Linden. That's really starting, whoop, the latest scan just broke it apart a little bit, but it was beginning to link up. And by the way, you see all that, that's flash flooding starting to occur too with any of these storms. So again, any tornado that does form would be rain wrapped. You won't be able to see it. That storm in particular was looking pretty good. I did put a storm track on it, heading to only at 417 You'll see this in Coble at about 419, Spot 427, Centerville 436, Little Lot 449, then Tidwell will see this at about 502. And then you see all these storms in Montgomery and Stewart County. That's for the baseball size hail centered over Oak Grove now. That's a tornado warned storm. It's Doppler radar indicated, but hopefully you folks are getting down to the lowest level, center of a room with no windows. You need to do that right now. It's very imperative you do just that because you don't have a lot of time with these storms. Again, lots of hail with a lot of these storms too forming, and that tornado watch is in effect, and it's in effect for a reason tonight through about 9 o'clock because we have multiple storms that are developing at this point. So again, watching them all very carefully. It's really scary to see this evolve, and I just want to point out that if you're not seeing them where you live just yet, don't worry, your time is coming too. Everybody will see these storms. This one, by the way, that we were watching for a while, this is a tornado possible tag, wind gusts of 60, some very large hail, but they were talking about the circulation starting to wrap a little bit more up right here, as you can see. That would be just to the east of Portland. That would be heading towards Bethpage and then over towards Lafayette. And Shelby, what are you seeing?
So a couple of things that's been said by the National Weather Service Nashville in the chat is that the Sumner County thunderstorm, it actually looks like it's weakening with the rotation. That's the good news. The bad news is that these storms still have significant upticks in intensity. Zooming out so you can see just this line. Usually when we have a line of storms like this, they end up kind of merging together and they become less intense. That's just not the case today because we've got all of the dynamics and the ingredients in the atmosphere for all of these to have their own updraft. So what that means is that there is different cells and different ingredients that are causing all of these ingredients to come together so that they can kind of bake this cake separately. So that's why we have multiple different tornado warnings going out right now, because there's multiple different updrafts. They're not coming together. So what that means is that these are going to be long-tracked tornado warnings throughout the rest of the evening. And then we're also seeing plenty of hail, getting lots of damage reports right now. And for spots that aren't seeing these tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings, you need to know that if you're seeing sunshine, that's not necessarily good news. That's actually going to add fuel to the fire for these storms as they continue to move eastward, Danielle.
All right, I was going to say that, and we're getting confirmations from my friends over in the Clarksville area. They're saying baseball-size hail. They're definitely seeing that out their window. So that's some really big hail. It's very damaging. Yes, you were talking about this, Shelby. We got to continue to track these storms, man. They're really starting to develop out west, and unfortunately, they're going to be pushing east. And like you said, they're not in a line. They're not in a line. They're keeping their individual characteristics. So individual supercells can produce big tornadoes, big hail, and lots of wind. Again, we've got this tornado warning for Houston and Stewart County. I want to go up, though, to Christian and Trigg County because I do believe we have a camera. Okay, here we go. So this is the storm that we are looking at, and I know there's tornado watches. They're probably issuing that. We'll check that out in just a second, probably extending some things. This is Christian and Trigg County. We've got a tornado warning for you till 4:15. The time now is 4:13. I wonder if they're going to continue this or let it expire or push it into Todd County. But you can see that's a live picture from Hopkinsville, and you can definitely see that cloud. That's a lowering. That is a definite lowering of that cloud. So there is a definite reason they have a tornado warning on that cloud. That is Hopkinsville right now, just so you know. Okay. Good to know. And okay, and then the south side, though, here's the one thing. So you know how we're watching Christian and Trigg County and Hopkinsville camera right now? The south side of that storm has weakened enough that Montgomery and Stewart County has dropped their tornado warning. So right now, you're okay in Montgomery County. It's not the case for Christian and Trigg County. You can see why. Look at that lowering. That thing looks like it's trying to form something. We have to watch that real quick. That's a great camera shot. Not a good camera shot because if that does form something, that would be a tornado coming out of it. This is Christian and Trigg County. I got to tell you right now, friends, as you're looking at that, that's Hopkinsville, right? You said again? Looking from Hopkinsville? Okay. Okay, I'm going to look at the real fast, just look at some Doppler radar stuff here. Just to see, oh, it's getting so close to the radar beam. We're not going to be able to see it either. I got to tell you, though, if you're in Oak Grove right now, you need to get down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows, and do it soon. If you're on Fort Campbell, Army Base, get down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows. If you are along the line, basically, of Montgomery and Christian County, get down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows, and do it now. Because, man, as you look at that camera shot there, that is a lowering, and it is getting very, very close to the ground. That is Hopkinsville, friends. If you're in the Hopkinsville area, look at that. Look at how close that is to the ground right now. That is not good. That is why we have a tornado warning for that storm. Yes, okay, and Shelby, we are looking at this area right here. This is the one that's tornado warned. What are the landmarks nearby so people can know where to take shelter?
So some spots that are close to where we're seeing this camera right now include the Oak Grove Racing, Gaming, and Hotel, Days Inn by Wyndham Oak Grove and Fort Campbell. You also have Meadowview Market, Greenhouse and Shoes, Phil Faulkner Taxidermy, New Testament Christian Church, Chapel Hill Church, Christian County Welcome Center, Woodward Cemetery, Country View Creamery, Holiday Inn Express, Turner Guest House. There's also a Starbucks and a Taco Bell and a Subway that go up the Highway 41. So that's some spots that this storm is going to continue to push across. But if you heard anything that sounds like somewhere, hey, I know where that is, be in your safe place. These storms are lowering very quickly. Even though we're getting close to that radar and you can't see the storm as well, that's when things get even more dangerous.
That is when things get more and more dangerous, which is scary. Now, they did let the tornado warning go, which I'm a little bit in shock with that one right now, because looking at that, that's a little scary. Okay, but we're going to watch everything, obviously, and we'll continue to watch that one too. That is a good lowering right in that area. I'll say that right now. Okay, so that tornado warning has been dropped. So let's get back out to this and just kind of show you exactly where we are again right now. Again, the time is 4:15. Let's go over what we're seeing on our Storm Tracker Radar Network. The big story is this: we do still have tornado warnings in effect as we speak. We've got a few. We've got the one over here in Hickman and Humphreys and Perry County. This is in effect until 4:30, and there's a ton of lightning with this one for the record. This is right over Lobelville. Let me go to the greens and reds here. Now again, there is rotation with this. It's more broadened, I would say, in this area here. It's near Coble. It's right over Lobelville as we speak. So if you live in the Lobelville area, please take your tornado precautions going down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows. What we've learned about today is things can easily drop down and drop down very quickly. I just want to put a storm track on this one for you because, again, this is a tornado warned storm until 4:30, centered over Lobelville. Pleasantville, you've got 1 minute to get down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows. Coble, you've got 4:26 until you're down, so you got about 10 minutes. Whitfield, about 4:28, so about 10 minutes or so. Centerville, 4:42. My friends, I have friends in Centerville. Make sure you go down to the lowest level center of a room. Get ready to do it. You're very close to go. Graham, 4:47. Totsy's Bend, 4:50, Wrigley, 4:58, and then Tidwell, you would see this at about 5:11. So, folks, again, tornado warning till 4:30. This, again, is for the area, and I want to make sure I show you this real fast. This is going to be for Hickman, Humphreys, and Perry County. And, Shelby, you got some landmarks for this, right?
There's a couple of landmarks that are close to Lobelville, exactly where this storm is over right now. If you're hearing this landmark, you need to be in your safe place right now, lowest level of your home. You've got Hots Barbecue, General Hardware and Supply, Tennessee Gas Pipeline, Mid-TN Off-Road, Lobelville Seventh-day Adventist Church, J&J Commercial Roofing, Gilmore Cemetery, Spectra Energy Corporation, Tate Family Cemetery, and this storm is going to continue to move more at that northeastern, east-northeastern angle. So it's also going to get closer to the Buffalo River, and if it continues to hold together, it's also going to be getting closer to Wolf Creek Ranch in Tennessee, Wolf Creek Cemetery, Horseshoe Bend Farm Wines, Horseshoe Bend Farm, and Happy Hollow WMA.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Shelby, for some of those landmarks. Folks, you got to take these seriously. All right, so we've got that tornado warning. I want to make sure I clear this out. We'll show you exactly what's going on. We were just talking about that one for Hickman, Humphreys, and Perry County, okay? That's in effect. Now we've got a brand new one. This is for the cell just south of that, folks. So this is going to be for Lewis, Perry, and Wayne County. Wayne County, you haven't been under a tornado warning yet. I know that. So again, Lewis, Perry, Wayne County. First of all, want to make sure you're aware of this. Look at the hail on this one. The hail is huge. The hail is huge. It's almost 3-inch hail. So that's baseball size hail again, right, Shelby? That's close to baseball size. So we're talking about huge hail being dumped on. We're talking about heavy downpours. And then we're talking about the potential for some rotation in this one as well. You can see the greens and reds here. I'll circle it for you. Be right over in this area here in particular. And as I look at the radar, yep, right where the, it's right in here. Oops. I didn't mean to put that on. Okay, so here's the thing. This storm, again, most of these storms, I believe, they're still moving at about 30 to 35 miles an hour. This is 35 miles an hour, so that is right. Again, this storm, if you live, I would tell you, right around Homewald, I need you to take your tornado precautions, lowest level center of a room with no windows. You don't have much time to do just that. I'm going to put a storm track on this to show you exactly where it's going and where you need to take shelter. This is going towards Topsy. Topsy, you are going to see this at 420. You've got 1 minute to get down to the lowest level center of a room in the windows. 4 East, 435, Hohenwald, 439, so about 20 minutes or less. I mean, before this, you're going to be dumped on with heavy rain. You're going to be dumped on with large hail. And then the potential tornado comes after that. That's right in this area here. Salem, you would see this at 451. Hampshire, 504. Williamsport would see this at about 5:16 in the afternoon. So again, this is a tornado warned storm now. We've got this one for Lewis, Perry, and Wayne County. This is in effect till 4:45. It's now 4:19 in the afternoon. We have this one for Hickman, Humphreys, Perry till 4:30. We were talking about landmarks with that one. And then I got to go up to this one too. This is for Houston and Stewart County until 4:30. And there's still a good hook on this one. Whoa. This one has a really good hook right here. Let me just look at the radar here and see if the greens and reds are together. Yeah, they're pretty tight. Aaron, heads up to Aaron. If you live in Aaron, I need you to get down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows. That hook is kind of coming together a little bit more on that one. So we'd be watching for that as well. Again, this is going at about 35 miles an hour. So this is going to head over Aaron. I'm going to do some streets on this one too because I don't like the look of this one right after I tell you some of the cities in the path. Tennessee Ridge, 426, you got 5 minutes till the potential tornado warned storm is on top of you. Grays Crossing, 428, needs you to get down to the lowest level center of a room. You got 8 minutes or less. Aaron, 433, just about 10 minutes or so. Cumberland City, you're not that far away at 441. You're about 20 minutes out from the storm being on top of you. Palmyra, 457, about a half hour. Dotsonville, 5 o'clock. And then Southside, 512. Ashland Hills would see this at about 518. So, okay, this is another tornado warning. I'm going to go down and zoom into the streets here for a second, but this is for Houston and Stewart County until 4:30 in the afternoon. This is right over Tennessee Ridge. Some of the streets that it's going to go over, South Main Street. Again, this is over in Houston County. This is right over, I mean, it's like right on the line of Houston and Stewart County. Yes, go ahead, Shelb. What are some of the landmarks in this area?
So some of the spots that you need to know, you need to be in your safe place if you're hearing these and they recognize you're near them. Tennessee Ridge Elementary, Tennessee Ridge Baptist Church, Tennessee Ridge Fire Department, Kimberly Dew, the Red Shed, Tennessee Ridge Ace Hardware, Barnes Tax Services, Houston County EMS, Truth Tabernacle Church, Spas for Paws, Magnum Manufacturing. Getting a little bit farther up, Coleman Lumber, and all of these spots are it's headed your way. And then again, Hohenwald is next. So we're starting off in Tennessee Ridge. These are where these storms are happening right now. Continuing to push upwards though, that's when it's going to make its way into Hohenwald and we'll see more storms coming through. So as of now, it looks like we have 3 tornado warnings if I'm correct.
Oh, there was a wall cloud spotted too in Wayne County apparently. Wall cloud spotted in Wayne County and tennis ball size hail too. FY. So that's not good. Okay, so we have 2 things happening in Wayne County. I got to go back to that storm here too. Real fast, Shelby. We'll go back to that. We'll go back to Houston Stewart in a second, but I want to go back down to there because they were talking about a wall cloud being spotted down over in Wayne. So this area here. So Wayne, Lewis, Perry County. Also, very large hail they were talking about out there. I forget what it said in there, but it was huge hail in the National Weather Service chat. This is a scary thing because there's a wall cloud, so that means there's some good rotation on this one, and it does look like there is some good rotation on this one. It's right down here. It would be over 48. Let me just make sure. Yep, right over 48. Highway 48, that is where it intersects with 13. And just again, to make sure everyone's aware of this, this is going to be for Lewis, Perry, and Wayne County. Again, Lewis County, right over here where Hohenwald is, that's Lewis County here. There's some Perry County and there's Wayne County, the southern stream of this. Okay, so it's really about to push into Lewis County here. So just a heads up. This one did have a wall cloud with this over in Wayne County. Someone said they spotted that. So that is not great news. So again, that could be trying to bring something down to the ground. So we have to watch that as well. Again, right in this area here, I'll do some streets real fast for you because it's about to cross over. It's right where it junctures in with Wayne and Perry and Lewis County. So again, Here's where it would be. Oops, we got a new tornado warning too, which we'll go to in just a second. That's in Christian County, so that's up in Kentucky. That's probably the one I was showing you on a Hopkinsville radar with the Hopkinsville live camera. Okay, so here we go. This one, again, some streets. Shelby, I'm down. If you want to find some landmarks, I'm going to be down over the one that's moving into Lewis County. But just so some streets so people can see this, I'm going to talk about these real quick. It's right near 48 and 13. It's on the east side of 13, south side of 48, where the rotation would be near Big Opossum Road, Topsy Road, Luna Road, Pea Ridge Road. It's right by Moccasin Creek Road. It's right by Natural Bridge Road, Kelly's Chapel Road, Rock Horse Road, Cyber Ridge Road, Hayes Road, Marbit Road, Buffalo Road, Lee Road, Grinder Creek Road, Napier Lake Road. This would be going towards 20 too, Highway 20 as well. So just a heads up, the green and red really have tightened up a little bit here on the southwest side of Hohenwald. Southwest side of Hohenwald. Let me look at debris. Oh boy, there's some debris with that one too. That doesn't look that great either. I hope that's nothing on the ground. Okay, Shelby, tell me some landmarks.
Couple landmarks exactly where this storm is over right now. You've got Hohenwald, NDB, JHG 257, Dabbs Cemetery, Lewis State Forest, Triple S Land Clearing, Tennessee National Raceway, Adair Funeral and Cremation Centers. You also have Highland Lake, Ford Cemetery, Horace Plus Humane Society, Palestine Cemetery, Little Swan Church of Christ, Meriwether Lewis Campground, Natchez Trace, Grinders Creek Church of Christ, and then also if you go down just a little bit farther where this storm is completely over, closer to Buffalo Valley, you have the Buffalo Primitive Campgrounds.
Okay, thank you so much, Shelby, for all of that. Okay, so this is what we're watching. So Shelby was just talking about this. We have got a lot of tornado warnings. Want to make sure everyone's aware of this. So we have this one until 4:45. The rotation starting to tighten up on that one, okay? I want to make sure you guys know that there was at one point a wall cloud. There was also tennis ball size hail in Wayne County. So again, that was one storm we're watching. Now they are saying rotation is weakening in Houston County. I'll show you that in just a second. We still have Hickman, Humphreys, and Perry County one until 4:30. This is the one they're talking about in Houston and Stewart County. Potentially that the rotation is weakening, so the tornado warning will be allowed to expire in about 4 minutes here. This is over near Aaron. Just going to look at this here. I mean, there's definitely probably some strong winds with this. I mean, there's definitely going to be large hail. I mean, look at all the hail for the record, too, with all these storms. Huge hail, especially down over Wayne County. That hail is really, really strong. But I also want to make sure I get up here real quickly over towards Christian, I was going to say parts of Christian County. This might have been what we were looking at, I'm not sure, but this cell right here is Doppler radar indicated, but this is going to go in the northwest side of Christian County. Oh, wow, that tightened up big time around the Princeton area. Now, that's just outside of our viewing area, but if that does come over, that would go into northwestern Christian County, may clip Crofton, and then go into Muhlenberg County, so it would clip. Just so you guys know, that's rotation right now. The green is the wind going to the radar. Red is the wind going away. That's about to move into Christian County in Kentucky. Crofton, you would see this at about 4:55. Hawkins, 4:39. Then Haley's Mill would see this at about 5:09. Okay, so we do have several tornado warnings. And just to bring you up to speed of what we've been watching all afternoon long, notice where everything is right now. Everything is out west. And me and Shelby were talking about this. Usually it becomes one line, but it really is individual cells along this line, and they are producing massive hail. We've seen huge pictures coming in, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Adam Mincer may have some pictures of some damage, some hail, some things. So Adam, let me know what you're seeing and where they're from.
Danielle, yes, we're continuing to get pictures of the storm damage and the storm itself coming into the WKRN newsroom. I want to start out of Robertson County, where we can see some storm damage. This coming to us from our own Davis Nolan as he is in the area, continuing to explore. As you can see, there's a lot of emergency personnel in that area as well, continuing to assess and figure out what might be needed. We see a few trees down earlier today. We are also seeing right now these trees on houses, some home damage as well. I want to move over to Clarksville, where we have some flash flooding happening there. You can see this picture courtesy of the city of Clarksville. You can see this damage of the flash flooding, closing up some roads, a lot of debris kind of strewn around in that area, people working to pick that up and clean up that area. I want to take you guys now to Springfield, where you can see the shelf cloud that is over this area. Wow, that is dramatic. You can see that darkness on the bottom, and really, I mean, the color to the coloration all around that area. Danielle, I'm sure you can give us more information on what we're seeing over there. But the last picture I want to show you is this hail. Danielle, you've been mentioning this 3-inch hail over and over again right now. We're seeing some bits of it right now. This coming to us from Paris. You can see that on the ground. Those white, large, seems to be from this angle kind of golf ball size, but we know that we've been getting baseball sizes in other parts of Middle Tennessee. Danielle, Shelby, that is all I have right now. We are continuing to take in pictures. Just email us.
All right, yeah, I was going to say, you can email your pictures of pics@wkron.com. Adam's going to effort them to get us online. Of course, please, if you do send your pictures, and do it very safely, pictures, videos, we'd love to see the content that you're seeing outside. I know the hail has been extreme in places today. We're talking large, baseball-sized hail being reported, very jagged hail being reported. These are some violent storms putting down some very heavy hail. Not to mention strong damaging winds, dumping buckets of rain, lots of lightning. And also tornadic. So let's go right into this again. We're on Storm Tracker Radar Network. Shelby Max with me. Davis Nolan is out in the Storm Tracker looking at damage, but we do have a few tornado warnings still ongoing, several severe thunderstorm warnings. But let's go right to this. We've got the tornado warning in effect, and I'll zoom down in here for this one. This is going to be for Lewis, Perry, and Wayne County. This is in effect until 4:45. This storm is about to slide over, and it's really on top of you in Hohenwald. So hopefully, Hohenwald, you are down in the lowest level, center of a room with no windows. I can't make this up today. Don't take chances. This isn't a joke of a day. This is a day where we can have large hail. We could have tornadoes, some which could be strong. If we say there's a tornado warning for your area, I need you to take cover immediately, and you know what to do. Know the drill. Lowest level, center of a room with no windows, and do it very quickly because they're fast moving. This cell, again, is over Hohenwald. Let me show you the velocity product, and you can see there's greens and reds indicated with this one. I'm going to show you the radar again so you can see this. There's a lot of rotation on this one. Probably some right in this area here and right to the southwest side of Hohenwald. That'd be right over 48 and 20. Again, this is going to be moving to the northeast at about 35 miles an hour. So again, this is going towards Murray County next. So just a heads up, Hohenwald, it's on top of you pretty much right now, but rotation's very close. Theodore would see this at 439, Mount Joy 506, Mount Pleasant 511, West Haven 524, and then Columbia, you would see this around 528 in the evening. So again, folks, I really need you to take this seriously, getting down to the lowest level center of a room. We're giving you advance warning here, at least for some of you, but right now we've got nasty storms over the Hohenwald area, right over 412, where 412 intersects with 20. And even 48 there, as you can see, lots of lightning. The hail on this one is just huge. Look at that hail, wow. That's some monstrous hail, 1.5 in diameter, 2.5 in diameter. So that's going to be some baseball size hail out there for that one. So again, we've got that tornado warning, and we're watching until 4:45. Several severe thunderstorm warnings. It looks like bad rain day. Okay. I want to show you this one other one. We've also got this tornado warning up in Christian County. This is going to go until 5 o'clock in the evening. But the good news is right now, besides the tornado warning, we do have several severe thunderstorms. We only have this tornado warning and the one over in Christian County. So that is some good news. Again, I will do a quick storm track on this one for you, just because this is the one that is tornado warned. This is heading towards Voorhees at 437, 440 over Hohenwald. I mean, it's on top of you right now. Salem 452, Mount Pleasant 513, and then Murray County would see this about 516. Now, I know, Shelby, you've got a lot going on. Let me know what you're seeing.
Danielle, I just wanted to do a quick overview of all of these storms because this can look really overwhelming if you're just looking at it. But I can tell you we've got 2 tornado warnings that are still in effect. So the one that we're watching the most is the one Danielle just showed you. This is for Lewis, Perry, and Wayne County, lasting until 4:45. So we're going to stick with this one. It's got hail that is larger than a baseball. So we have seen lots of hail coming down across Middle Tennessee, and this storm is going to continue to get closer and closer to Hohenwald. So it is quickly making its way. Along with that, it's still pretty tight where you see these reds and greens touching each other. That is going to be where we see this rotation on the storm, again, making its way northeastward towards Hohenwald. So it'll be in Hohenwald closer to 448, 502 into Salem, 522 into Mount Pleasant, 530 into Little Lot, 543 into Columbia, and 559 into Boston. Along with that, we have another one that we're tracking. This one's for Christian County up in Kentucky. Going to last until 5 p.m. Hail is just a little bit smaller. It's closer to quarter-sized hail or nickel-sized hail, but continuing to see a little bit of that rotation, still just southwest of Princeton, and that's going to continue to push northeastward as well. So this is going to be Dawson Springs by 447, 454 into Hamby, 501 into Crofton, 510 into Earlington, and 522 into McNary, and then 537 into Greenville. Now, with these storms that are going to continue to push through, there's only 2 tornado warnings left, but we've got plenty of severe thunderstorm warnings. It is not a good time to let your guard down, especially if you think, oh, it's been sunny all day. We've had plenty of sunshine, especially closer to Nashville and east of I-65. Do not let your guard down. There are still all of the ingredients to bake the cake that is necessary for a tornado to form, because we've had so much fuel to the fire today in spots that haven't had as much rain, Danielle, but lots of hail reports.
Okay, I just want to let you know this. Okay, so we've got, Shelby, thank you for that tour. We're going to keep posted. I was just looking at the National Weather Service chat. One thing they were looking at, Shelby, is up in Houston County, and let me get up that way. We have severe thunderstorm warnings, obviously, you can see. We've got this one for Cheatham, for Dixon, for Houston, for Humphreys, and for Montgomery County here. And then we've got this other one up in the Erin area, and they were talking about some rotation starting to tighten up a little bit more. So I'm just going to zoom in here, see what they mean. Probably up in this area here near Erin, I would tell you, or even down towards Waverly. There's a little bit of broad-based rotation near Waverly now, near McEwen as well. And then we've got, again, some rotation starting to tighten around Cumberland City and the Erin area as well, right in here. So again, we'll have to watch some of this, because as these, storms start to move, they start to spin pretty quickly. And again, and even on the radar here, as you look at it, you see that kind of hook in the radar right in this area, right over Erin. So I would tell you, Erin, I would start taking those tornado precautions, even if we just have a severe thunderstorm warning, because this could easily start to spin down something. Cumberland City as well. We're talking about very large, heavy-duty hail, lots of lightning, heavy downpours, and that's all moving to the north and east. And heads up to Clarksville, because my friends in Clarksville, you're getting a lot of noise as well out there, as I can see. So we've got tons of, oh my gosh, look at all the lightning on all these. This is insane. Got a lot of lightning, 339 lightning strikes in Montgomery County right now from one storm. Okay, so these are going to be very noisy as they come over you. And then this one over Erin that's strengthening, this has 224 lightning strikes in the last 30 minutes. So this is showing some strengthening going on. Plus, we got lots of large hail. You see the hail cores. We got some over Montgomery County. We got some between Pleasant View. We got another one up towards, say, Christian County, then some towards Erin and Waverly. And then down here, I'll tell you, the largest hail core and the most threatening storm as of right now is the one down here over in Homewald and Lewis County. Look at that large hail core right over 48, where 48 meets 20. I want to make sure everyone's aware of that. And I know we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning for Robertson, Cheatham, and Davidson County. So I'll show you that in just a second. But this one, again, is still the tornado warned storm. It is still tornado warned until 4:45. It's now 4:36 in the evening, and it still has a good hook right in this area here. Now let me look at the rotation here. Oh, and the greens and reds are coming together a little bit more with this one too. Let me look at the Bree tracker just to see if I see anything. It's very hard to tell with these storms. I mean, they're all forming very quickly, but this one looks like it's really starting to tighten up right here. And I'll look at the, that's not good. This is the one right in here. Okay, so let me get down to the streets here. Again, this is a tornado warning. I want to make sure people are aware of this. This is for Lewis, Perry, and Wayne County. This one looks like it's really starting to tighten up. You see the green and red right in here. This is where that rotation is. It's on the southwest side of Hohenwald. Let me zoom down and tell you some streets here. Again, this is going to be near Seaber Ridge Road, Gaither Hinson Road. This is going to be near Sickler Road, Rock House Road, Buffalo Road. This is over in Lewis County, folks, over in Lewis County. If I'm saying your street name, you need to get down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows, and do it now. Taylor Phillips Road, this is Cabin Road, Grinder Creek Road, Lodging Road, Long Branch Road, and Rock House Road. You see that green and red? That is super tight, super tight. Wow, that's probably on the ground right there. There's the green and red. Again, I'll do this real fast for you so you can see this. There's the green and red. Again, this is over in Lewis County, my friends. I need you to get down the lowest level. Rupertown, I hope I said that time. You have no time at all. It's on top of you. Please get down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows. You are under that tornado warning, and there's probably potentially a tornado trying to make its way onto the ground because that circulation's really starting to tighten up right there. Meadow Ford, this is coming to you at 449, and then this would be coming towards, say, Voorhees at 441. Mount Joy, you would see this just a little bit after that. And I know I'm seeing new tornado watches, so I'm sure they're maybe adding them on and maybe them going a little bit later into time. Looks like they're putting in more counties and maybe till later. They might be extending this tornado watch till midnight, it looks like almost. Excuse me. So, okay. This is a storm. This is tornado warned right now. This is, let me look at the debris tracker. There might be a spike of debris too trying to form right here. I'm going to go right to this again. Yeah, it's right in the Hook area. This is not good, right near Hohenwald. Hohenwald, I hope you're down in your lowest level center of a room with no windows. Anybody in that area that knows anybody there, they need to take those tornado precautions now. Lowest level center of a room with no windows. They need to do it now. This thing could be on the ground. And again, if it keeps on this path, it's going to be in Voorhees. It's literally on you right now. Meadow Ford 447, Mount Joy 509, Mount Pleasant 515, Murray County, would see this 518, Pleasant Hills 527, and Columbia, you would see this at 533. Now, a lot of folks along I-65 haven't even seen much to the south. These storms are all coming at you, and they're holding together. Even if you think, oh, it's getting later at night, maybe nothing's going to happen. No, these storms have a lot of force with them. So we are looking at severe storms, potential for tornadoes, potential for large hail, potential for damaging winds, potential for flash flooding. The whole gamut is possible tonight. I want to make sure everybody is aware of that. So this tornado warning, it says it's Doppler radar indicated. I would not be surprised if something's trying to make it on the ground because I was just looking at the rotation and I'm very concerned with it. And it looks like they're saying, yep, a new tornado warning is going to be coming out for Lewis County, and they're also saying 2-inch hail is also possible for this storm. So again, they are concerned with that one. And they're also saying, oh boy, there's a lot going on here. They're also saying in Pleasant View is also showing signs of rotation as well. So lots going on. We got $half size hail reported in Hohenwald. So I'm going to show you this again. This is the tornado warned storm. This one's going to be extended because they're saying the rotation's really tightening up what I was showing you on the radar here. Look at the greens and reds right here. I'll zoom in. You can see it. It's right here. The green and red, that's the wind going to the radar. The wind going away from the radar is the red. And when you see it linking up like this, just south of Hohenwald, I hope you're in your basement. I hope you're on your lowest level center of a room with no windows. You need to do it now because this is really starting to tighten up, and this is going to go over 20. It's going to go over Natchez Trace Parkway. It would then go over 412. Mount Pleasant's in the direct path. Columbia's in the direct path of this storm that is tornado warned. And yes, it is Doppler radar indicated as of right now, but they're saying that the circulation is really starting to tighten on this storm, so they are concerned with that. So again, got this storm here. As you look at Storm Tracker Radar Network, we've got one to the north of it. Now, the severe thunderstorm warning has been let go of that one over in Centerville. And then we got this storm here that they're watching. And I know that they were tracking this one, and I want to make sure I put a warning on this one so you can see this. This, again, it's for Cheatham, Dixon, Houston, Humphreys, Montgomery County. As you can see, looks like there's a little curvature in this one right in here near McEwen. So just a heads up, McEwen, let me look at the radar here, see if there's any greens and reds touching each other. I mean, there could be other circulation starting to develop around these storms as well. So we have to watch in between these cells. Anything could start to rotate and could start to rotate pretty quickly, put it that way. So we've got this storm here. Let me put the warning back on here. There's the tornado warning, the new one. I'll show you that in just a second. We've got this storm here for Montgomery and Robertson. That's for wind gusts to 60 quarter-inch hail. We've got this one north of the city here. That, I believe, is for Cheatham, Davidson, and Robertson County. It has a tornado possible tag in this one. Let me look at this real quick just to make sure the greens and the reds are not linking up too badly. It would be down in this area here that there could be a possible rotation right over 431 between Coopertown and Greenbrier. Oh boy, that's an area that just got hit with storms. So we have to watch that as well. Okay, so expanding out so everyone can see what is happening here, okay? This is what's happening. To the east, so far, things are pretty quiet. To the west, these are the storms. They're all staying pretty individually in check as we speak. So you see there's a tornado warning up in Christian County. We've also got tornado warning down to the south. And all these in between are severe thunderstorm warnings with tons of lightning, very large hail, wind gusts to 60 at least, if not higher, and the potential for tornadoes. And Shelby, you've got a few storm reports coming in.
So the latest storm report we have is for that storm that's down in Hohenwald. That's the one that looks so angry and has such large hail core. And it looks like there's been reports of golf ball sized hail in Hohenwald. And then getting a little bit closer to it, you can see that our hail tracker is saying it's over 2 inches. So over 2 inch sized hail is larger than a hen egg, getting really close to that tennis ball sized hail. And this is also that tornado warning that was just expanded into Lewis County. And this has held itself together for quite some time. I'm going to go ahead and turn on our lightning so that we can see just how much energy this storm has. And so it looks like we are going to be dealing with quite a lot of energy in this storm. Not much to do with the fact that we are going to be seeing even more hail coming down. And then even just close to Centerville, there's another storm that looks like it could have a lot of energy associated with it. Again, now let's go ahead and check out how much lightning we've got. In the last 30 minutes, there's been about 57 strikes just over Hohenwald proper. So we are going to continue to track that storm. And then above it in Centerville, you've got even more lightning. Looks like 165 strikes in the last 30 minutes, Danielle.
Oh, man. And Shelby, thank you for all those reports. Keep them coming. If you start to see something, please tell me. Shelby Mack's been with me all day long. We've been trying to track this very carefully for you. We've got tons of storms out there. The one in particular that we have our eyes set on right now is the one over in Hohenwald. That's the most dangerous one at this time. Not to say that not all the other ones are dangerous, too, as we have several severe thunderstorm warnings. But we do have this one that's a tornado warned storm, and they went ahead and reissued it until 5:15 in the afternoon for Hickman, Lewis, and Murray County. So my friends in Murray County, you haven't had anything yet today. This is coming your way. And you see that over in Hohenwald. That's where it's centered in there. And it does have the large hail like Shelby was talking about here. And the greens and reds are really starting to tighten up on this. And I'll show you that real quick here as we zoom in. And this would be on the south side of Hohenwald. So I really need my friends in Hohenwald to take their tornado precautions going down to the lowest level, center of a room with no windows. And again, I'm going to put a quick storm track on this one for you. And then we've got a lot of other things to talk about here. But this one, if it continues on this path, I mean, this would be over Theodore at 445. It's right on top of you. Hopefully you're down in your lowest level, center of a room with no windows. You need to do just that. Mount Joy, you're going to see this at about 508. Mount Pleasant, 514. West Haven, 528. Columbia, 531. And then it would be pushing towards even Williamson County, I believe, and Marshall County as well. So we've got that tornado warning that is in effect. That is in effect until 5:15. So that is the tornado warning right now. And we've got several other severe thunderstorm warnings as we speak across our area. So there's the one tornado warning. And then we've got a lot of other warnings happening to the north and to the west. We also have this tornado warning. I should mention this one about to push into Christian County. That's our northwestern Christian County. This Doppler radar indicated, again, with some greens and some reds, but it does look like that area may be trying to broaden out a bit. So that is some good news. But of course, any of these storms with severe thunderstorm warnings attached could easily turn into a tornado warning. All right, so we want to talk more about damage and what else is coming in. Let's go back over to Adam Mincer. He has much more.
Danielle, we are continuing to get pictures and videos of the damage and the storm itself coming into the WKRN newsroom. I want to start out with this funnel cloud. You could see this. This is from Cadiz. That's about west of Hopkinsville in Trigg County. You could see that starting to flow. We did speed this up so that you guys can really understand what is happening here and get a bit better image of what we see coming into the newsroom as that funnel cloud does continue to form and circle. I want to move us over to Lebanon, where you see these dark skies. Again, we also sped up a little bit of this video as well. You can see the dark skies continuing to form over time. This is video courtesy of Eli Hodge. You can see that in that top right corner of your screen. Pretty drastic difference between the top left corner of the screen and the top right. I want to shift us now to Big Rock. We've been talking about this hail all afternoon, and we are now getting a better idea of some of the size. I mean, this is about just the size of the tip of this man's shoe. A lot of the videos and pictures that we've seen coming in are pretty much the size of the palm of my hand, not something you want striking you from above at all. Let me show you one more picture of the hail that we're seeing right now. this image, that's a better idea. These are some of the smaller ones that we've been seeing coming into our newsroom right now. That hail really seeming jagged, as you've been describing, Danielle, also in pieces, continuing to come down. I also have some updates coming out of Robertson County. We're being told that the emergency shelters in Robertson County have opened. Those are the public health and safety buildings. I'm going to read off a couple of them right now. One is at Kittrell Public Health and Safety Center. The other one is at Rockvale Public Health and Safety Center. And there's a last one at Las Casas Public Health and Safety area. Also, an update on some news that we brought you earlier today. City of Springfield saying that they do have power back online. That power outage was a result of a tripped breaker. And we are also hearing from Fort Campbell. They're telling us that they are all in the clear. No significant damage or reports out of that area just now. Danielle, Shelby, I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Adam. And I just want to let you know we just got a brand new tornado warning, which I'm going to take you to in just a second here. This tornado warning is going to be for Dixon, Houston, and Montgomery counties, okay? Dixon, Houston, and Montgomery counties. So I'm going to go in here and I'll show you this. This was where there was a severe thunderstorm warning, but there's a line of storms developing here, and along this line, things are starting to spin. So again, this is a new one till 5:15 for Dixon, Houston, and Montgomery County. Okay, so this is in Houston County right now. Technically, this is going to push towards Sladen and Van Leer. Here's the polygon right in here. As you can see, there's Houston County. It's pushing towards Sladen, Van Leer here, and then pushing into Dixon and Montgomery counties, okay? Mainly northern Dixon County, southern Montgomery County, and yes, it's in the eastern side of Houston County. Let me show you a velocity product here so you can see the greens and reds. It's pretty hard to tell exactly where this would be. Probably somewhere in the neck of the woods of right around here, probably to the west side of the Sladen area that we'll be watching for. And just so you know, this is the Dixon camera right now. We're showing you this right now. Our Anagenberg Exteriors camera in Dixon is showing you that it's going to definitely be pouring buckets of rain as this storm comes over you. So if there is a tornado, it is going to be rain wrapped and you're not going to be able to see it. So what does that mean? That means you need to start taking your tornado precautions. That means going down to the lowest level, center of a room with no windows, preferably a bathroom, a basement. You can kind of see this here. It's hard to tell exactly where that rotation is. Somewhere maybe in here, and then there's another area right in here. But we're watching this very carefully for you. And again, any of these storms can really start to spin. I know this storm had some hail with it. Yep, there's lots of hail. And then as we look at the rotation, we've got some greens and some reds. I'm not seeing anything on the debris tracker just yet. But again, it's hard to tell because it could be embedded in this line of storms. So again, as we look at the storm tracker here, I'm going to go down the greens, the reds, and see, this will be west of Sladen. So again, let me get down here again and show you. And Shelby, if you get any street names, let me know, or landmarks. This is probably the area, so it would be on the west side of Sladen. This is going to be moving over Ellis Mills Road, Williamson Branch Road, York Road, Sladenville Road, Stony Point Road. This will be going over Bear Creek Road. This will be going over Sladen. Then it probably would be paralleling north of 49. So Highway 49, Doyle Hunter Road, Little Barton's Creek Road, Hollis Crossing Road, Woods Valley Road, Foster Road, Buckner Loop, and then we cross over 48, Highway 48, as it continues on its path. So again, it's a big noisy storm, very hard to see exactly where things are. They've pulled a tornado warning on it though, and so we got to take that seriously, and as we do, and I put a storm track on this one for you, again, it's going towards Van Leer. It's going to be there in about 6 minutes or less. Woods Valley, you'll see this at 5:02. Cumberland and Furnace, 5:06. See this in Beech Grove at 5:23. Lockertsville at 5:30. Hamble, we'll see this at 5:14. So just a heads up. Again, a storm that is a tornado warned storm right now. And this is for, just so we're aware again, Dixon, Houston, and Montgomery County until 5:15. There's also a lot of hail, very heavy downpours on this one. And again, we're going to be watching for this. Okay, this is I-40. This is the camera right by Burns, okay? I want to show you this just to see what's going on here. It's very hard to tell. You can see it's shaking, that's for sure, and there's some dark clouds in the distance there. Wow, okay, you can see, and the cloud looks like it's lower there. I mean, that could be also a rain shaft too, but you can see it's definitely moving, and it's moving pretty quickly there. And I know we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning, but we'll let that roll. And I just want to point out that's over in Burns. So again, this is coming your way. This storm is noisy, and any of you could see a potential tornado. Again, looking at the radar though, as we look at the greens and reds, hard to tell exactly where that rotation really is, but it's just a very noisy storm. So again, we've got Dixon, Houston, and Montgomery County under a tornado warning until 5:15. And then we got the secondary storm. Want to make sure we hit this one too real fast for Hickman, Lewis, and Murray County. This one in particular, they're flashing it, so they're keeping this one going. This again has very large hail with it. At one point had a funnel cloud attached to it, so we were watching that as well. This one is a scary one. That we were watching and carefully. And again, they're also talking about this, which is kind of scary, that they're going to be watching these storms rolling into the downtown Nashville metro area within an hour. So heads up, I-65 corridor. These are all coming your way and coming your way very quickly. Again, here's the greens and reds on this one. And this one actually looks pretty pronounced here still. Let me look at the debris tracker too. Whew, this one down here is a little scarier looking because the greens and reds are right here, right by near Mount Pleasant. Again, there it is, the tight rotation there for that one. And again, this is for Hickman, Lewis, and Murray County. All right, let's go over to Shelby Mack. She's got more.
And Danielle, we are still tracking mini storms. Looks like there's still a few tornado warnings in effect, and these are going to continue to push eastward. Looks like they could be making their way closer to Metro Nashville in the next hour or so, but we actually have reporter Caitlin out right now at the Robertson County Fairgrounds. So Caitlin, what are you seeing right now? I've heard there's been quite a bit of flooding.
Yeah, Shelby, I'm here at the Robertson County Fairgrounds. You can see the Sulphur Red Creek River behind me. It's overflowing here. It's feet of water, it's looking like from here. We're hearing that basically they haven't seen damage like this since 2010 in terms of overflow from that river there. But we'll continue to bring you live updates back to you guys in the studio.
And thanks so much, Caitlin. It is looking very terrifying out there across all of Middle Tennessee. But what we're looking at right now, if we can come back to the BAM, you can see all of these watches and warnings. I went ahead and took the lightning off because now you can actually see just what we're dealing with. Lots of flash flooding. There's also tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. But turning that lightning back on, I wanted to show you across Middle Tennessee in the last 30 minutes, there have been over 1,200 lightning strikes. And I know a lot of us are sitting pretty thinking, oh, this isn't going to come to me. But as this storm continues to push eastward, this line still has individual updrafts, meaning that we could still see these supercells and there could still be rotation before these start to kind of come together and it becomes a heavy rain event. So stay alert through the rest of the evening and into tonight. So our latest tornado warning, this is for Dixon, Houston, and Montgomery. That's going to last until 5:15. Got about quarter-inch sized hail, continuing to push closer and closer to Sladen. Earlier, I was seeing this rotation right here. It looks like it's broadened up just a little bit, but it's still moving more eastward instead of northeastward, which is a little bit different than what we've seen with all the other storms. As it continues to push over, though, looks like it's going to be in Van Leer by 4:56, 5:08 into Staten, closer to Beech Grove by 5:24, 5:31 into Griffintown, 5:38 into Ashland City, 5:43 into Pleasant View. Now we're looking at another tornado warning as well. This one's for Caldwell and Christian County, going to last until 5 p.m. And this storm has really held itself together. Lots of lightning associated with it. So the rotation actually looks like it's falling apart a little bit. That's good news. We want this rotation to fall apart because then it's going to be more of those straight line winds, which can still do quite a bit of damage, but it means that there's not going to be a tornado that drops down to the ground. Our next tornado warning, this is going to be for Hickman, Lewis, and Murray counties, lasting until 5:15. About 2-inch sized hail, so that's hen egg sized hail, very large, continuing to push into Mount Pleasant. Notice just how much lightning is associated with this. And then to the north in Centerville, definitely noisy with quite a bit of lightning and thunder. Now it looks like closer to Hohenwald, just southeast, that's where we're starting to see this velocity coming together where there is some rotation. And this storm again has also held itself together, getting closer to Mountjoy by 5:12, Mount Pleasant by 5:19, 5:28 into Williamsport, 5:39 into Columbia, 605 into Spring Hill. So these storms are very noisy, and our latest warning that we have received is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning. That's for Caldwell, Christian, Hopkins, and Muhlenberg counties with winds up to 60 miles per hour, inch-size hail. That means that it's quarter-sized across Kentucky, and that's going to continue to hold itself together as well. So just breaking down a little bit of a tour of some of the stronger storms that are coming through, Danielle.
Going to say that, Shelby, and thank you so much for doing just that. The big story is this, every one of these cells can easily start to spin, and we've been watching them very carefully for you. And notice that the storms are inching closer and closer to I-65 and the corridor here. So guess what? As it comes across this area here, this area has not been hit by any storms just yet. And the atmosphere is just as primed as it was out to the west, which means these storms, as they come across I-65,
I am now a person in long-term sustained recovery from substance use. I knew that I had something that could help. So when I tell people like poetry saved my life, hope can save your life, it's not a platitude.
maintain